A second Nintendo Switch. That's right. That is what Nintendo is going to make. The leaks were true. One of those weird cases where the leaks turned out to be true. This video, their teaser video is maybe an hour or two old at this point. I have not watched it yet. I kind of rolled out of bed to help my wife get our daughter off to school, and the rest of the kids are here bopping around doing stuff. My understanding is that I was right, that there's a Mario Kart video. There's Mario Kart is some part of this presentation, but that it's a very short video. They also put out a press release, so I figured I'd look at that as well. But why don't we watch this video and see what the hell it is that that these people are up to? These Nintendo people, you know what I mean. 2 minutes 22 seconds, because it's the Switch 2. That's a silly, potentially deliberate. That would have to be deliberate. Yeah, whatever. Let's watch it. 2 snaps. What do we? Smash it to bits. Bowser's foot. Oh God. Uh-huh. I think showing it as like an expanding Switch 1 is not a great way to do this initially. Oh, look at that kickstand. Yeah, like showing it as like an evolution of the first Switch, like there's a weird... When you think about some of the minor confusion around the Wii U or whatever, like it's kind of a weird way to go with it. All right, so this is presumably showing that they can kind of be mice, I guess, when they roll it like that. Good God. Okay. Now here's more of the same. Here's more weird shots of this thing spinning and flying. There we go. Okay, yeah, they should make a new Mario Kart, as I've said many times. This is a good idea. Wait, what's this? It can hook up to a television? That's crazy. A new dock for the Joy-Cons. Makes sense. Yep. Both physical and digital. Certain Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible. Oh, okay. So they're giving like a date. Certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. Details will be shared. Okay, so I mean, hey, backwards compatibility is not a guarantee. So that's they're saying that up front. Okay, this is not the launch of the system. This is a Nintendo Direct about the system. I was gonna say that's okay. That April 2nd would be a weird launch date because these hands-on events that they have booked are for like the first half of April. So it's a safe assumption. Well, I mean, the Direct makes that even not an assumption anymore, that the system is not coming out before then. Not a ton to be gleaned, that's... Not a ton there, That's a pretty wide road, I guess. Like wider than the average Mario Kart track, but not too crazy. Like how many carts are there? Not an undue number of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean they cut it off before there's still carts entering the screen. It just gets better every time I click this button. It's a lot of carts though. I mean, I don't know. It's not out of control. We just don't know where it stops. F-Zero X style or something. F-Zero 99, yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's not really much to that, is there? There's really nothing here about the features of they did put out a press release that maybe gets into more specifics. This button on this other Joy-Con is very deliberately unlabeled, isn't it? Is that just the screenshot button? No, the other one is. So I wonder if surely they'll do colors, but I wonder if the rails will always be the same color to tell you how to put them into the system, because the system will obviously have colored rails. I gotta say, this idea of holding a Joy-Con that way to oh, was it docked into something for that? Wait, because it comes out of. Okay, so you dock it into this thing for, hey, now it's a mouse. Okay, sure. Gotta say, man, zero interest in any kind of like mouse style functionality on any kind of console like device. Not for me, man. The whole idea of like, oh, now keep a flat surface near you while you play a game on your television. I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to keep like a TV. I mean, I literally do have a TV tray right here, but I am not going to drag that over and be like, time to play some. Like, I have a computer right here with a mouse on it. If I'm going to play games with a mouse, I'm going to do it here. And I rarely do that at this point, honestly. Like most PC games, I'm playing with a controller. So, like, not the worst idea, just, in terms of options or something, but I'm trying to think, like, what's a Nintendo game that I would ever want to play with a mouse? And, there's not. There is nothing. No, there's nothing there. So, I don't know. All right, let's... Let me look at this press release here that they put out. I guess via Business Wire. Couple of glamour shots of the system. Nothing that you didn't just see there. Nintendo offered a first look at Nintendo Switch 2 in a video introducing the hardware. Watch the trailer here. Visit the website here. Nintendo.com/successor. That's funny. Like they didn't want to reveal the, and then they just have the trailer on their website. This is the same. Okay, yeah. Oh, it shows us 221 on the. Wait, is this a different version of the trailer? I don't know. Anyway. If that one was 221, then maybe the 222 that I was seeing was in fact a coincidence. Anyway, Nintendo Switch 2 plays Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games, as well as both physical and digital Nintendo Switch games. Certain details. I mean, that's the exact same text that was in that thing. And for more details, Wednesday, April 2nd, the Nintendo Direct. They're also going to hold Nintendo Switch 2 experience events. They have some dates for those. New York, 4th through the 6th of April. LA, April 11th through the 13th, Dallas 25th through the 27th, Toronto 25th through the 27th, In Europe, they will be in Paris on April 4th, London April 11th, and the 2 days after. I'm just done reading the full date swing. Milan and Berlin on the 25th, May 9th for Madrid and Amsterdam. May 10th and 11th, they will be in Melbourne. They'll be in Tokyo April 26th and 27th. Well, they'll be at the it says Makuhari. I assume they'll be at the Messe, which is technically outside of Tokyo, but that's, yeah. Korea, they'll be in Seoul May 31st. Hong Kong and Taipei to be announced. Well, what do you think? Do you think that... okay, I mean, these dates run through June for this thing. Do you think that they ship the console in the middle of these events? And probably not, I'm going to say. Especially, like, Tokyo is almost last on this list. It would be weird. It would be weird for the console, for the device. I guess console's a weird... it'd be weird for the device to be available prior to these experience events. I mean, there's always the idea of like, oh, hey, you can touch it before you buy it, and you know that's a valid concept at any time. It's not just something you do before the thing is out. But I wonder, you know, do you think it's a safe assumption that this means the device is not coming out until at least June? Because June 1st is the final date, and also, but they still do have TBAs on Hong Kong and Taipei. A Nintendo account is necessary to participate in the Switch 2 experience event. Ticket registrations will begin in the near future. They have a website for that. And that's about it. That's about it. I don't know, like, you know, sure, that's, you know, there's not much there, but I guess there's not much there that, you know, because of some of the leaks, I think that, you know, you maybe already knew about. Hey, this is how the Joy-Cons connect now. This is how, you know, hey, maybe you can do a mouse thing with it. You know, there's like a lot of that information was, you know, kind of out there and has been out there for a little while here. So I don't know if that makes this a little less exciting, but there's just not that much info here. You know, obviously they're not talking about specs, and that's something that they will insert into the end of some press release later, because it's just not, you know, the Nintendo way to lead with like, here's a list of the hardcore numbers of flops this mother's gonna do. So, yeah, I don't know. This is a very Nintendo-like solution to announcing a new device, and that's about it. They'll make a new Mario Kart. I guess I was, you know, hey, I mean, easiest thing in the world to guess based on the sales of Mario Kart and how long it has been since they made a wholly original Mario Kart. It's a pretty easy thing for me to have been saying for a little while now. Like, I bet they'll do a Mario Kart at launch. So yeah, seems like a pretty safe bet at this point that game would be out at launch, but maybe it's a year. Who knows? Who knows? We don't know. But what do we know? They're going to make another one. Cool. You know, I would love to have more details on it. That's, I think, the actual thing is there's just not that much to this video. And yeah, I don't know. There's the button. I'm looking and seeing what the news stories that people are generating out of this 2-minute thing. Yeah, Video Games Chronicle has noted that there are 15 carts on screen at the same time. 8 only supported up to 12 characters. Significantly, the footage could suggest that Nintendo will expand the player count even higher than that, because if you count the number of grid spaces shown at the start of the track, they have room for 24 racers. And Donkey Kong has a sillier face, they've noted. Finally, silly face Donkey Kong, we're ready as a people. Recent speculation suggests that the C button, people have decided to call this new button the C button because there were some renders, some leaked renders that showed a letter C on that thing. That would be for some sort of community-based functionality such as voice chat, but yeah, nothing's in the video. So yeah, maybe that's like a push to talk button. That'd be weird. Kind of a weird place for it, but okay. They did the thing. I don't know. I'm not like jumping out of my seat about it, but I guess that's they showed a render of a device spinning around and around and around, and the controllers connecting and disconnecting, and it looked exactly like all of the leaks and all of that other stuff. So I guess that's just how it's going to go. I'm very interested to see what they end up doing. Did we get a Snipper Clips 2 with mouse support? Like what are we going to see that, takes advantage of whatever this thing can do? Whether it's that button or, what are they going to make that like really sells the mouse thing, like game wise, software wise? That's always going to be the actual interesting thing with a Nintendo device, right? Is like, okay, what's your software story? And what is the software that's going to take advantage of whatever you've kind of cooked up here? But, as someone who broke the rails on an original Switch, having the controllers connect that way seems like a solid improvement. I don't know. But also, like, I don't ever want to use a Joy-Con removed from the device. So, like, when they're like, it's got more buttons on the side, I'm like, cool, man, that's awesome for somebody. I don't care, man. I am never going to play a game that way. I do not want to do that. If I can help it. So a lot of those features just don't fit. Like when I think about the ways that I've interacted with the Switch over the last several years, it's either handheld with the controllers on it, or it's docked to a TV, or it's a Nintendo Switch Lite that, you can't remove the controllers in the first place. So, all this sideways Joy-Con stuff and all the other things that they cooked up last time around have not really been a factor in my life. So, improvements to that experience don't really sway me one way or the other. But I don't know. We'll have to wait a few months here. That's, I guess, this kind of shoots in the foot. I think some of the, it's going to ship in March, it's going to ship in April. There's been some people speculating that the ship date would be pretty early, but I think at this point, I would have to say April at the earliest, and even then, that cuts into their road show, and so I'm wondering if we don't even see this until June at the absolute earliest. But I don't know if they're going to take half of if they're also going to give themselves the first half of this year to finish up games and get all that stuff. Like that could be a really powerful launch if they wanted it to be. I would assume that they would have. Could potentially have a lot ready for that launch window. We'll see. I was hoping to come out of this with a little bit more than just a we'll see, but sure, they're making the thing that you thought they were making. They're making the thing that you knew they would make. I think it's a little less exciting. It's calling it the Switch 2, like all that. It's a similar design. Like, I think there's been people wringing their hands and spending a lot of time writing about how the innovative Nintendo is dead and I love that. Why are they? And it's like I don't know. It's they stumbled onto it. They didn't stumble onto it. They very intelligently developed a form factor that was wildly successful. It still is. Everyone else is still playing catch up in this space. Like clearly the handheld device space is going to be a thing for some years to come, led by the Nintendo Switch. There's very few reasons for them to deviate greatly from it. And for all we know, there's a weird controller that hooks up to it that you do something strange with, and that'll change your mind about a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Could you call it the Super Switch? Could you call it something? Sure, there could be a flashier name for it. But this keeps them solidly out of Wii U territory. There's very little confusion when you call something, it is the Switch 2. I think people will inherently get it. What that means, that it's a new generation of thing. It's not a follow. It's not the same hardware. It's like that's a very easy thing for people to get. So they're kind of playing it safe. At least from what we've seen so far. But I feel like a lot of tech in the world right now is playing it safe. I mean, when was the last time a smartphone was interesting? It's been a long time. So, yeah, we'll see what they have next. I'll see you in April. We'll reconvene and see if they have anything else to say. Until then, I'm Jeff Gerstmann.